So today we're going to talk about a line that someone said to me recently that completely changed my perspective. The world doesn't owe you peace. You build it. And I want to expand on that because it's something that I think people need to hear in today's climate. But before I do so, please take 3 seconds to hit that like button. Really helps the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think of the quote at the end of this video. Let's jump into it. Hi, I'm here. Welcome back to another video. This is a place for people who want to hit their goals and live their best life. So if that sounds like you, make sure to subscribe because I release videos every single week around those topics. Now let's jump into the meat of this video. If you've been around me for any amount of time, you know that I advocate for taking time to be present, to stop and be still, to pause and breathe. You probably heard me talk about meditation or mindfulness. But here's the thing. These things are not default. They are not the norm. In fact, they are, quite frankly, foreign concepts to the majority of the population. I would say that most people view these things with skepticism. Meditation, what's that all about? What does that even mean to be mindful? I don't have time for that. These are some of the common pushbacks I get when I recommend things like meditation or mindfulness. And there's a reason for this. We live in a day and age where everyone thinks that they should feel happy all the time. There's all these gurus on social media telling you to manifest your dreams, and all these YouTube videos with titles like How to Attract the Universe and Get Everything You Want. And then when you actually try to sit down and be still, you realize that you're restless, you're overthinking, you're worried, you're stressed. And so you think something's wrong with you because why can't I just sit down and be happy? Why can't I just sit down and be still? Why can't I just enjoy this moment? That's the thing. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not something you're just born with. It's something you cultivate. It's something you learn. It's a discipline. And just like you wouldn't walk up to a guitar and expect to play Stairway to Heaven after having never played an instrument before, you can't expect yourself to be at peace in a world that has taught you to be anxious. We're constantly being fed messages from our environments that tell us to stress. Deadlines, traffic, crime, the news, social media, work, finances, family, relationships. You name it, there's something out there stressing you about it. And so until you consciously decide to step out of that programming, you will continue to react to your environment instead of operating from a place of inner peace. So yes, the world does not owe you peace, but it also doesn't owe you happiness or success or prosperity. You build it. The notion that you are entitled to anything is completely false. You have no right to be happy. You have no right to be successful. You have no right to be wealthy. In fact, you have no rights whatsoever. The only thing you have is the opportunity to act in accordance with what you believe. You can choose to align your actions with the outcome you desire. You can choose to behave in ways that lead to happiness, success, wealth. But the only person responsible for those outcomes is you. When I first heard this statement, I was taken aback by its simplicity and yet its profound meaning. I realized that I had been unknowingly waiting for the world to give me peace, for external circumstances to align perfectly for me to finally feel at ease. But the truth is, it's my responsibility to create that inner peace, regardless of what's happening around me. You see, peace is not the absence of chaos. Peace is the presence of calm. It's a state of being that comes from within, and it's something that must be cultivated through conscious effort. Cultivating peace is not a passive process. It's not about waiting for the perfect conditions to arise. It's about actively choosing to embody peace in every moment, regardless of what's happening around us. When we make this conscious choice, we become the embodiment of peace, and the world reflects back to us the peace that we have cultivated within ourselves. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should ignore or disregard the struggles and challenges that people face. External circumstances do matter, and it's important to acknowledge and address the suffering that exists in the world. But what we choose to do in the face of those challenges, what we choose to think, feel, and act towards them is entirely up to us. For example, we can choose to respond to fear with courage, to anger with forgiveness, and to despair with hope. We can choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as obstacles that block our path. This does not mean that we have to be happy all the time, or that we shouldn't feel sad, angry, or frustrated sometimes. It means that we have the power to choose how we respond to our emotions and how we allow them to influence our actions. When we learn to do this, we become the authors of our own lives, and we can create a sense of peace that is anchored in our deepest values and beliefs. It's not an easy path, and it requires constant vigilance and effort. But the rewards are immeasurable. A life lived in peace is a life lived in freedom. It's a life free from the shackles of fear, anxiety, and worry. It's a life full of joy, contentment, and gratitude. I invite you to consider this quote: "The world doesn't owe you peace, you build it," and to reflect on what it means for you. How have you been waiting for the world to give you peace? How can you start building peace in your own life today? What small steps can you take to cultivate more presence, more stillness, more joy, and contentment in your everyday life? Some practical ways to start building peace include setting aside time each day for mindfulness or meditation, practicing deep breathing exercises, engaging in regular physical activity, surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people, and letting go of grudges and resentments. Peace is a skill that is learned, and it's a journey that requires patience and persistence. But the benefits of living a peaceful life are immeasurable. So if you're feeling restless or anxious, if you're struggling to find peace in a chaotic world, remember that the power to create peace is within your grasp. It starts with a single step, a single breath, a single choice. Choose to be present in the moment. Choose to let go of the past and embrace the future with open arms. Choose to find joy in the little things and to be grateful for the blessings in your life. As you continue to make these small choices day after day, you will gradually build a foundation of peace that will sustain you through the inevitable ups and downs of life. This quote, "The world doesn't owe you peace, you build it," has become a guiding principle in my life. It reminds me that I am the ultimate architect of my own destiny, and that the peace I desire is within my grasp. I hope that these words have resonated with you as well, and that they inspire you to take positive action towards creating a more peaceful life for yourself. Remember, peace is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a journey that begins with a single step, a single breath, a single choice. What will you choose? Will you choose to be present in the moment? Will you choose to let go of the past and embrace the future? Will you choose to find joy in the little things and be grateful for the blessings in your life? The choice is yours. The world doesn't owe you peace, but you can build it. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about the quote. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you soon.